Valley has been extremely hard hit in the last couple of years. Prescription drugs are expensive. People get hooked. They end up on heroin because it's so much cheaper. There's fentanyl out there now. It's crazy. Joe DeFino is the organizer of the Hope Rocks Festival at Cantine Field in Saugerties. It's August 19th and 20th. What is it all about, Joe?
Well, you hit on a number of incredibly important topics. We can talk about the causes for addiction and the drugs that are out there now, and the power of those drugs, and we could go on forever and ever and ever. But the Hope Rocks Festival is our effort. It's a grassroots effort. It's a community effort to address the epidemic of these senseless losses of lives due to overdose, due to suicide, and in often cases it's all directly related to one another. And it's our response. It's the response of our community to say, hey, we got to do something. It can't be, we can't wait for policy. We can't wait for other things that may slow the process down. People are dying. So we decided to come up with a festival where we feature music, the arts, vendors, just a regular rock and roll festival, but with the focus of bringing to light the problems that each community is facing with addiction and with suicide.
And it's a mental health issue.
Oh, absolutely.
In our community.
No
depression
question about it.
Leads to suicide. Depression leads to addiction.
There's no question. It is a vicious cycle, and that really is the cornerstone of the festival, because we have what we call the Hope Village. And the Hope Village is a collection of service providers, national service providers, state service providers, local service providers, grassroots service providers whose job, whose vocation is battling mental health and these particular issues in particular. And so festival goers will be allowed to, will be invited to, will be allured to go visit this Hope Village and get information in a non-threatening, non-judgmental manner. Advocacy, support, direct services, indirect service, all provided in an atmosphere of a rock and roll festival.
That part is great for families, for parents, for brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles who are looking for help for someone who don't know really what to do.
And that's exactly
what's available.
And that's exactly it. And we are very ignorant, and I say this not in a sense of a put down or in a judgmental manner, but we're very ignorant about the size of this problem that we have. And there are parents out there, and there are brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles out there that do not know how close it is to them. And perhaps this Hope Village can give them some signs that, hey, this is why my daughter's acting this way, this is why my wife is acting this way, this is why my husband's acting this way, and so on, and maybe give them a clue as to maybe there's more to the situation.
The Hope Rocks Festival, August 19 and 20 at Cantine Field in Saugerties. Joe, you started this, and it's a very unique thing. It may be the only one in the world.
As far as I know,
like
Greg,
this.
It is the only one in the world. There are Hope Rocks festivals, but they deal with other issues. They might deal with raising money for medical issues or things like that, but nothing dealing directly with the issue of opioid, the epidemic of opioid addiction and suicide, because these are taboo discussions, and the
it's
numbers,
hard. It's hard.
It's very hard, and the more I get involved in this, and the more people that I meet, the courage that they show by sharing their stories to me is humbling. Isn't an appropriate word, because what they carry with them, are things that hopefully I'll never have to carry with me. But every day, the questions, the whys, and it brings it out and says it's there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your situation. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not to blame. What it is we've got an epidemic on our hands, and we've got to figure out a way to handle it.
It's great for kids to know that when they're in that position, there's other people just like them that are in
now
the
more
exact
than ever.
same position.
Now
too.
More than ever, you hit it right on the
And
head.
it's good
again.
to feel that you're not alone.
for certain.
You know, you think it's you against the world, but it's really not.
It's not.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
The Hope Rocks Festival at Cantine Field in Saugerties. Morse Rocks, you teach at Morse School in Saugerties.
Yes.
Sawyer Automotive Foundation.
Yep, they are one of our fiscal sponsors, and they've been great allowing us to use their 501c3 to operate our money through, which has been awesome.
And the Ryan Foundation.
The Raising Your Awareness Against Narcotics, and that's named in honor of a young man who died as a result of his addiction.
And the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Yes.
All these folks are going to be there at the festival.
They are leaders, and they are going to be front and center.
And there's a lot of activities. I want you to stick around and tell us about the activities that are happening, and the music, too, at the Hope Rocks Festival. Joe DeFino.